Hello Shambala friends, so here is the little video to remind you of what we practiced the other Sunday. We start off with our moment of connection and centering and breathing, and then we make sure that the feet are a little bit wider than the hips. Take your weight back, straighten your arms, start close to the ankle joints, and then we lean our body weight in and rock back. So my knees can be a little bit wider, my toes are tucked under, I lean my weight, pouring down through my arms and rock back. And about 3 hand movements towards the toes. So the toes are opening away from the head and a little bit down to the corner. Imagine we're on a mat, to the corner of the mat. I've opened the feet outwards, now I'm going to open the feet towards me. So I tuck their heels under. Again, come close to the ankles, pour my weight down, and in the middle of the foot toward the toes. Some people's toes look like they're going to touch all the way to the floor, keeping their heels and ankles and toes in alignment. Keep breathing. Keep a nice wide base. And now we come to the opening the soles of the feet. So we take the ball of the hand and the palm of the hand and the ball of the foot, and we push, 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 toes and fingers to the ceiling. And then we straighten arms and curl the toes round. And push, push, push. Keep the push on. Keep my elbows in close to my chest and straightening. And breathing. So I have to use my body and I have to use my breath. Then I want to roll their toes inwards, so I take the heels a little bit further. I play with one side and then the other side, and if that looks easy, I can roll both toes in towards one another. Need to take the legs even wider. So the feeling is toes in, but I'm also lengthening all the way away from the top of the head. And you get a lovely opening now across the front of the legs and across the back of the pelvis and the lower back. Sitting one foot at a time, so we take the hand under the heel, resting in my lap. Other hand comes around and I make a circle with my body. As I circle my body, so I move and mobilize through the ankle joint. Thinking about the ankle joint, keeping the heels still, moving the toes. Then I want to think about the hip, so I put my attention into the hip joint and I see a little bit more movement. And then I can think, how far does that movement come all the way up into the shoulders? Great, I put the foot down, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing towards the toes, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then I would do the same on the other side. And then I come around, holding under the heel and underneath the bottom of the knee. Bending their knee up, stepping forward with my leg. Their foot goes in the crease of my hip. Their lower leg rests against my upper leg.
Oh.
Bless you, that's the camera woman. So I can check, have I got my body in position? No hands, that's great. Move their hand out the way. And I might need to step up a little bit further if I feel there's more mobility. This hand is guiding, this hand is palming. So I'm mobilizing their body with my body and I'm working the energy channels with the pressure of my palm. Going out, coming in and coming back the same way. Moving my hand from the center of the body out towards the knee. Then I come round, so we do that 3 times, 3 rounds, 3 times. I'm just going to give you a skeletal overview, but you can take as long as you like in each position. Cradling the lower leg. My pubic bone is level with their hip bone. So I can hold underneath here, or I can hold the around the knee and the lower leg. And I'm moving more in this plane, around the torso. I move my body around in a circle. And I can hug the leg really snug, give a bit more feeling of security. I can let the hip be a little bit freer. But I'm looking for a mobilization within the hip socket, so the ball moving inside the socket, creating more fluidity and space in the hips and more connection up into their lower back. Then I straighten their leg, a little bit of traction, bend up my other knee, rest their leg here, make the handle of your teapot, hook in here, forearm to ball of foot. It's really important, that connection there. This is pouring out through here. And then as I lean, I lift up the handle and pull my weight down. So the higher it comes, the deeper the stretch, the lower down, the easier it is. I straighten this arm and then I drop this shoulder. Most of the weight is here, so this hand is gently applying pressure. Soften the back of the knee, straighten out, and then I would come to do the other leg. Now we come back to the center, so I lift up one leg at a time, keeping my back nice and straight. A little bit of monkey swing. So my arms are straight here, the weight is hanging in my hands. That is hard work, that's easy. My knees are bent, my tail is free, and as I swing my body, so it swings and brings some lovely fluid rocking flow into the pelvis, into the lower back, into the chest and the whole back of the body. The lower down, the easier, the higher up, the more challenging for the hamstrings. Then we stepped in and bent the knees. And the feet went between our knees. So I can hold my partner's body with my knees. I can hold their knees in neutral with my knees. But I want to give a bit more support. So I'm going to use my hands. I take my feet wide and my knees a little bit together. And with the exhalation, knees move into the chest. With the inhalation, they come out. So I'm helping the breathing mechanism, going with the pump of the breathing rhythm. The more I can stretch back through my tail, the more stable I become. So we've connected back through the center line into the lower back, into the mid back. Now I'm going to stretch all the way through the spine and bring my partner up to sitting, holding around the heels, crossing the legs. So here I take my feet wide like a pyramid and my knees together, and I hold around my partner's wrists. They give me their wrists and I work with the breath. I'm going to ask my partner to lift the weight of their own head. If there's any feeling of them pulling back, then stop and wait till they're completely relaxed. So they lift their own head and we breathe in together. And as we breathe out, I stand down through my legs, power into the ground, draw into my abdomen. So I'm leaning back here. I can pause there and I want to bring them to sitting. I walk away and up they come. And then we came round to the back of the body. We did a nice bit of work just in the shoulders, palming, squeezing, rubbing around the head, working into the hairline, and then we sat down, hand on the back of the heart, hand either onto the physical heart space or a little bit away, and just let them come back into their own seat, feeling that connection down into the ground, and up toward the sky. Take our hands away. We ground our own hands. Go and wash our own hands afterwards. And thank you very much. Enjoy.